الله الرحمن الرحيم. أستاذ وديع بودريبيلا، أستاذ اللغة الإنجليزية بالثانوية التأهيلية ابن تومرت، المديرية الإقليمية مراكش، جهة مراكش أسفي. Today's lesson is conditional type 2. We saw conditional type 0 and conditional type 1. Today we're going to deal with conditional type 2. I'd like you first of all to consider this sentence. Let's read it. If I had $1 million, what would I do? If I ask you this question, if you had $1 million, what would you do? Let's see answers. Okay, personally, if I had $1 million, I would build a lot of schools in Morocco. Nice teacher. All right, so let's consider these answers. If I had $1 million, I would buy a new smartphone. Good. Would you buy a new smartphone? All right. So if she had $1 million, she would help the poor. Very good. Nice. If he had $1 million, he would build a school like me, just like me. All right. If they had $1 million, they would travel the world. That's nice. The last sentence, if I had $1 million, I would start a business. Okay, what kind of business? All right, so if I had $1 million, think about it seriously. What would you do? All right, so let's look at this example. If I had $1 million, comma, all right, I would travel the world. If, look at this one, if I had, it's simple past of verb have. If I had $1 million, I would travel the world. Let's move to the second way of using or saying the same thing. I would travel the world if I had $1 million. What do you notice, guys? So here, what is the difference between this sentence and this one? Yes, that's a good thing. There is no comma here. All right. All right. So here, there is a comma. So if I had $1 million, because we start by the if clause. This is an if clause, right? So we have if. All right. So I would travel the world. I would. So conditional. So that's I would travel. So would plus verb infinitive without to. All right. So I would travel the world if I had $1 million without comma. All right. So this is the rule. If you see, so we have here if plus subject plus simple past of the given verb. Then we have comma, subject again, plus would, it's necessary, then plus verb, infinitive without to. All right. Okay, so when do we use conditional type 2? We use it in unreal situations, right? So, do I have $1 million now? No, I'm a very poor teacher. I don't have it. So I just imagine if I had $1 million. I just imagine. Now I am in Morocco. Let's imagine if I were in the US. If I were in the US. It's unreal. Now I am in Morocco. I'm not in the US. All right. So we use the conditional type 2, as I said, for unreal situations, imaginary situations, just to imagine. If I had $1 billion, I would build a lot of schools in Morocco. So this is just imaginary situation. All right, so let's move. Okay, so another example. If I were a millionaire, comma, I would travel the world. But thanks God, I'm not a millionaire. I would just stay home. Stay home. All right. So if plus simple past of the given verb plus subject plus would plus verb. All right. So while using conditional type 2, always use were after F or had, or it's the same, it's simple past of any given verb. So whenever we have F, we imagine, so we put simple past just after F. If I had money, if I were, if I traveled, so if plus simple past form. All right. Okay, guys, let's practice. So I'd like you please to put the verbs in the correct form. So we have some sentences here, and we have some verbs between brackets that I'd like you to put them in their convenient and suitable forms, in corresponding, of course, to each sentence. So if people, between brackets, we have use. Public transportations, comma, there be, between brackets, less pollution. So I'm going to do this for you, and then you do the rest. If people used public transportations, there would be less pollution. Okay? If people used public transportations, comma, there would be less pollution. Okay? Okay, guys, take 3 minutes to do this exercise. All right. Let's see the corrections. All right. So, as I told you, the first sentence is, if people used public transportations, there would be less pollution. Second one, he would sort his trash if he were smart. Number 3, if big corporations cared more about the environment and less about their own pockets, pollution from factories would not increase so fast. Number 4, if I were the city mayor, I would pass harder regulations on cars and motorcycles. Number 5, what would you do if you were the city mayor? Okay. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you the best.